Okay, ooh, that's crazy because I already knew that was gonna happen. Cause I have to give me another laptop, like for real. But it don't matter because the show must continue. It really is a Star Wars out here. You know, us being the solar people, the star people, you know, it's attacks from all type of different levels from the outside of the veil, you know, the unseen forces. So man, this is serious. But let me go on and do this so I can make sure I put this information out here because like I said, information is very fruitile to the mindset. And once we actually start reprogramming the mindset, you know, the subconscious, that we be connected with those colors, not even knowing all because, you know, you don't understand the connection you have with that energy. And for instance, you can see something or a better example, you can actually get off work and actually like be just ate for real, just had lunch, flowers, or whatever the case, and then you see something of the color of those three colors I named, the yellow, orange, and the red, which are the lower um, houses of ourselves when it comes to self development. That's the lower aspect of us. And once you see those colors, it's like instantly you think of these fast food restaurants or different food places or different foods products that can actually satisfy that colorology connection that you had with it. You know, so if you like honestly think about it, 9 times out of 10, you normally don't be hungry. You normally don't want nothing to crave those lower houses. But since we do have spiritual parasites, you know, it's always someone, always energy that's lurking to get attached to this physical part of you. You know, to keep you stagnated, to keep your energy not moving, your chakra wheels not turning. So, you know, we have to be very, very, very careful of that because even who you allow in your circle, you know, in your circumference of who you are as a being, you know, has a lot to do with sometimes just your mood overall, especially if you're dealing with a negative person that always carrying negative energy, you know, and always wearing negative colors, do nothing but house some of the energies that they putting off because they're really powerful. And if that's only if you allow it, don't get me wrong. If you got enough mindset and enough power mentally to override things of that nature, that's more power to you. But if you don't, you wondering why you wake up angry the next morning. That's because you had someone that was invading your good energy and soaking it all up because we got energy producers and energy consumers. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of people in the world are energy consumers. And what they do is feed off your energy, your positive energy, how you feel and how you carry yourself. And they bring that dumbass energy into your field and infiltrate it and violate it and leave some of that shit off. Just drop it off like a bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, here you go. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't fuck with people for real, that harness that type of energy. And I feel it when I even like be surrounded by them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's natural in a sense because for one, that's something that's natural in tune with us. That's one of the gifts we was given. The gift of discernment on certain nations when it comes to actually meet somebody for the first time, be like, oh no, that motherfucker ain't right. Because of the energy you've actually picked up from that individual. And this shit is serious. You know what I'm saying? So be mindful who you elect in your vibratory field because some people really ain't right and they only there just to soak up your energy. So moving on anyway with colorology, like I said, we have aspects of the body that have certain colors that it responds to. And that comes a lot with the alkaline part of us when it comes to the vegetational part of us. And a lot of people don't know, the Only difference between us and plants is chlorophyll. Now, like I said, I wanted to say that I'm actually reading information from my notes that I've taken myself and like put my own not just spin to it, but my own words to it, so I can understand it as well as be able to give it to the public or whatever. But like I said, I'm in the midst of still reading African Holistic Health by Layla O. Africa, and it's a really good book when it comes to self-diagnose of self and get away from the medical aspect of the Midwestern ideology of someone always having to tell you what's wrong with you. And this book is going to help me to actually master some things that I am still continuously trying to master myself, as well as when it comes to my health. This journey is real, is not a joke to me, like I said, and it's serious because information that has never been given is honestly information that can transform where you were into who you can be right now. Especially with a different understanding of the elements of what's really the makeup of our genetics and what place we really do hold when it comes to the supremacy of this earth, the universe itself. So again, when it comes to colorology, we got parts of our body that is extremely important to us because our body really is a temple. How we get to the highest of heavens in a sense is to go through our temple, and we have to treat it right. And so some of these colors identify with the body itself. And this information that I'm reading is coming directly from Layla O. Africa book. And I'm also, when it comes to the numerology book, I'm reading a book from his name is Numerology, All That You Need to Know by David H. And that's one of the books that Bobby Hemmett recommended, and so, hey, if you don't know Bobby Hemmett, get with it. I ain't learning from no poo butts, no marks. I'm learning from the masters themselves, and I'm doing things in a sense to where I'm understanding more and more each day how important it is for us to meditate, get back into a higher standard of eat, for our temple to can perform, and as well as hold steadfast to the truth of the matter of our being. So in this illusionary world, we still have rules, we still have universal laws, and some things you just cannot like jump over and thinking you're gonna cross it. I know where my faults come in, and I'm working through that. But as long as I continue in the pathway of actually opening them doors to a lighter being of me, the ethereal, the higher aspect of who I am, I know my spirit is not going to lead me wrong. So I got a story too I'm going to put out there about that, because the spirit would never lead you wrong. It's there to give you the guidance and the steps to recreate who you thought you were and understand who you truly are. So when it comes to colorology, that comes to the fact that they use these colors, on our society when it comes to our health, our minds, our mood, even the impact in our growth. You know what I'm saying? Our food, the drug and disease industries use colors to sell products, and that's to stimulate your mindset, to want to be able to grasp that color and associated with the chakra alignments of who you are, and it draws you to it just to try it. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that they've been doing for a very, very long time. Psychologically, they've been fucking us for a long, 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 long time. So we have to get that. We got to get that. You know what I'm saying? We have to get that. There is no kumbaya when it comes to the the new wave that's about to come here. Ain't no kumbaya. It's like an exterminator. When you don't want no roaches or no rats or no extra shit in your house, no nets, no mosquitoes, no shit like that, you gonna get sprayed. And you're not gonna be of existence anymore. Especially to harm and harness the power that does not belong to you anyway. The righteous will return, and it will be a gift of power that hopefully this time around, the meaning would be more validated in an honorable way, in a righteous way. So, on that note, colorology, I'm gonna give you a few colors out here when it comes to the internal self of your body, and the kidneys, the bladder, is black, and the color black. And so by you even just consuming black olives, you know what I'm saying, black type vegetables, black type black beans, things that are naturally grown from this, or whatever the case, that you can harness that power from that vegetable, that fruit, that plant, whatever you choose to consume at that moment, or how you use it, and it can help your kidneys and your bladder. And that's thing I'm venturing off into, because I've always been a fan of food in a sense, but different foods. Like, I just know, like, what the fuck? This cannot be all in our grocery stores. Like, oh man, they had like the hidden knowledge. They had shit everywhere. So you have to do your research and be able to want to contribute, the funding to yourself being this at a higher aspect, to where you want to know spiritually who you are, and why you even choose to even I want to know personally why I even choose to come to this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I do understand some of the reasonings behind people that choose to come here. And I might was one of those people within those reasons. So again, the kidneys and the bladder is black. And we're gonna go to the lungs, and the large intestines is a pale color. And the spleen, the pancreas is in the stomach is a milky white. And the heart and the small intestines are red. And the liver and the gallbladder is the color blue or gray. So again, consuming those things can actually enhance the proper working of those parts of your body that's on the inside. Because again, we got to take care of the inwardly so we can manifest outwardly. And once we actually take a grip and a hold of our temple and start doing right by it, you can actually rewrite basically your body structure. Rewrite, this feeling of just not feeling complete on certain levels. That can be a good start for that. And plants, have a big deal to do with even the consumption, the consuming plants. It's a lot of plants, alfalfa, the alvera plant, um, what is the other now? Anyway, it's a lot of them. Oh my goodness! Oh, I just had a brain freeze. But it's so many of them. You know what I'm saying, that you can use to actually and consume, and other things of means too, like rituals and ceremonies. Because that's another thing they made us terrified of using the word ritual, using the word occult, using the word ceremonies, and giving offerings and things of that nature, all because they knew the truth about what that meant. And so what they did was made that essence of our part of being, and took that structure and made it into a straight up not righteous way to do it, to their own advantage, to hold over the masses, to keep control, to keep people asleep, And so once you say those things, it's like people be like, what the fuck? What? No, it's not even that serious. You know what I'm saying? It's more so it's been calculated. You know what I'm saying? If you even look up the word voodoo with the etymology of it, that is the origin of our people. You know, those are things that we did to actually show um the ancestors that were no longer in the flesh, more so to still be able to satisfy a piece of rum cake, Papa Leba. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they made us scared of that part of us, and scared to make open them doors, and colorology in Pictionary type pictures, you know, hieroglyphs and numbers. Those were the way that we communicated. Sounds, you know, sounds are very important. You know, the frequency that of sounds can open up different doorways and passages of your body that you never even thought you would get a chance to even experience. So it's like they took those simple techniques of just something as simple as sound and our pictures and our numbers, and reprogrammed it to be something that it's not. So uh on that note, you know what I'm saying? Colors themselves, how important are they? You know, the ceremonies and things that we give to our goddess Maya, you know, the principalities of ourselves, the part of us that knows the laws and rules and regulations of things that's going on here, and can honor it and actually can live by it. You know, nobody's perfect, but long as you continue to strive towards it, you know, you get the proper downloads to prepare yourself after this. You know, and that's the thing, we have to prepare after this. And that's where colorology come in at, like I said, with the hieroglyphics, with the sounds that we used to make to communicate with each other, the telepathic ways that we used to send message and things of that nature. Those things are embedded in stone and can continue to strive and get better, and learn how to use them properly, so we don't have to go through this downfall again. You know, and we can learn how to use that tech, though, that technology that is already going on somewhere else, you know, in the universe, in a sense, mentally in the universe, in a sense. So it's like we got to catch up to ourselves. Again, we got to catch up to ourselves, because who we are is something that they told us and we're not. So that's something that really needs to stick automatic with you. You're something that you're not. So who are you? Who am I? Let's chase that. You know, so in closing on that, you know, because of the opposite, look, Corey, please, because that's gonna be on the video. Because of the opposite of what they told us, you know, because of their ignorance, because they didn't know, because they didn't know the understanding of it, you know, and how we did things, they made it a fearful tactic for us. So that's something we can get in tune with, in alignment, because the only thing we can be responsible again for is now, right now. The creativity within yourself is right now. So ain't no other excuses about that. We can dig in the past to get the answers, but we got to implement it right now, you know, and put it like into our everyday life situation. I just learned that my whole house is an altar. You know, I'm embedded in my, and I'm going to my little one room and trying to meditate, which is still, you know, a little hard for me. And now I understand that my whole house is an altar. So altar, I'm finna do it up, you know. So like I said, colorology is a part of that. This is why I have my own creativity behind me. These are pictures I drew, you know, because I wanted my mindset and focus to be subconsciously subjected to what I believe in and what I've learned, and some of the things that should have been taught to me a long time ago. So, boom, moving forward. Now we're going to talk about numerology, because numerology has a lot to do with nothing. It don't have nothing to do with but numbers, all numbers, mathematics, you know, math is extremely important to the world. Numbers rule the world. And if you want to say it in a simple term, money, you know what I'm saying? Numbers rule the world. But how many of us would have known that numbers have an eternal substance to our being, to where it's a internal spiritual understanding of meaning, the word numerology itself, numbers itself. So that's where information come in at, that's coming from all around the board. You know, everybody putting everything of a necessity to wake us up. Wake us up. It's time. It's really time. So with numerology, and like I said, I'm reading from the book, numbers, everything is vibrations, but numbers carry certain vibrations. So the number frequency that a lot of people are on, in a sense, is really the first plane of existence. And that's within the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would be 1, 4, 7. And a lot of us are in existence of them numbers of that plane, which is the physical plane, which is the lower self aspect of us, and we don't even know it. All because we're not looking at the numbers of our birthday and the alignments of the astrology chart and our sun sign and our moon sign and the retrograde of this aspect, and when Taurus is in moon and when Aries is in half moon. I mean, the stuff can get tedious in a sense, because you want to know, it's so much to know, to where you just want to make sure that you try and go for everything. Like I'm reading 6 books right now, and I'm cool with that, because information come in increments. But I'm at a self-knowledge type of sense of self-paced teaching, with me trying to reach out to the master teachers that I have thus far and learn some things that I'm learning about myself, even when it comes to sitting and reading a book. So these things are, like I said, necessary. So when it comes to numerology, it's an aspect of us that has a lot to do with numbers internally. Like, my life path number is the number 4. And those are some of the techniques, besides the breathing techniques, the Reiki, and trying to make sure I do the Qigong, all these things, and eat right, to unlock these passages and doorways and dimensions that I have access to. And we all do, if we like actually want to do things like that. So, or go further to understanding the totality of the conscious, the subconsciousness. So again, numbers have a profound significance. All numbers develop from and are connected to the absolute number 1. 1, which is the expression of the ego. In a metaphysical sense, the number 1 is the first physical, only absolute number, symbol of divine expression, key to our communication skills. And number 2 is the first spiritual feeling number. It represents duality of humans and symbolizes the gateway to our sensitivities, as well as our need to be a part of a pair, hence our intuition. So number 3 is first mind thinking number of the gateway to the conscious mind and rational understanding. The focus of the left brain, which all of us use the majority of the left brain activity, and of the left brain activity, and it's key to the memory. 3 looks as a triangle representing, the mind, body, and soul. So the 3 aspect in a numerology sense is the triangle, which represents the mind, body, and soul. And like I said, these numbers are very important because you can use these numbers. Because for one, they didn't tell us that one goes to 9, and then 0 being the ultimate number of, it's not more or less. It's infinity. It's equal. It's round. It's never stopping. So they didn't tell us that in school, and then after 9, it's just a repetitive stage and adding numbers next to one another. And so once you do understand that, because 1 through 9 and 11 being actually the highest spiritual number, when you do some adding, subtracting, dividing, you know what I'm saying? And 22 being the highest arcana uh, number in the tarot card deck. So these numbers, number 13 is a divinity number. And I've been doing research on number 13, and it really is so important. That's why they took it off the elevator, supposedly. Something like that. Because they knew how powerful that number itself and who it represents and what it represents. That's something that a power of that number could never be unleashed. So, moving forward, number 4 in a spiritual numerology is the number at the center of physical understanding, more so of the doing plane, order lines, practicality, and organizing. The number 4 is representation of the L7, which is all practical construction, which is like not really kind of wanting to think outside the box in a sense, because you're stuck on that physical level in your box. You cool with where you at. You happy. So that's what that means on that metaphysical like spiritual sense. You know what I'm saying? And the number 5 is the center of the soul plane, which is the feeling plane of things, and the center of the total birth chart. The spiritual number 5 is representation of love and freedom of expression. Now, the birth chart itself. Oh, I'm not gonna even go there. Well, no, because the birth chart itself in numerology is a tic-tac-toe chart. It's a tic-tac-toe game. How we used to play tic-tac-toe as children, or whatever the case. And it's so many hidden messages behind, like decoding. It's ridiculous. Like, if they showed us tic-tac-toe, the tic-tac-toe game, why didn't they show us the numerology game and how to dissect who we are inwardly, so we can understand these numbers and where we at when it comes to the spiritual self, our spiritual self. So again, number 6 is the center of the human mind, thinking plane, basically. Creativity, integration of the left and right lobes of the brain, our olives. Opposite of creativity, destruction, negative creativity. Example would be worry, stress, and depression. Everything has, look, Corbin, could you bring my water? It has polarity. Everything. So, of course, the number's going to have a polarity as well. And they all speak of it. So, number 7 is the symbol of the temple, the human body, and its 7 chakras of power centers. It is the teaching, learning. Such learning is usually acquired through sacrifice as the means of indelible instruction. So, understanding the number 7 itself, the temple within, the 7 chakras, the wheels that we can get turning simultaneously together to unlock the crown chakra, which is the higher consciousness of self, to connect with the super consciousness, which is the Lord uh, itself, the omnipresent of us, who we're trying to connect to. So 7 is extremely important. All the numbers are important, but you can tell which ones that stand out that's equivalent to where you are trying to be and what you're trying to do. So number 8 is the most active spiritual number, situated at the active end of the soul plane of wisdom, expressed intuitively through loving action. It brings independence into focus, which is definitely where I'm at on certain levels. I keep seeing the number 888, 1111, and 444. I see 444 majority of the times, but that 888 even connecting with 4 plus 4, that's where the numerology come in at, because 4 plus 4 is 8. So it's understanding, because if it was 8 plus 3, which is the 8, 19, 11, you would have to straight break the 11 down because it's after the number 9, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So that's where it would be on the numerology level aspect of it. And you will look up the definition of the number 2 and all the different definitions of the meaning of the number 2, the etymology even of the word and the number 2. So that's where it's, that's where it's at. So number 8 is the most active spiritual number. Not number 8. Number 9 is the threefold number at the action end of the mind plane. As mind is action, it represents ambition, the physical aspect, responsibility, which is the thinking aspect, and idealism, which is the spiritual aspect. And so combines the attributes of each other of the previous numbers. So 9 would be the highest of the spiritual uh number in a sense. 369, the Tesla dude, he figured that out. But everybody got a remix to the truth of the matter. And that's what everybody did on that level. Not giving it uh the proper respect and the proper people to where it actually came from. So again, 1 through 9, and now we're gonna get to 0. And 0 is a symbol that's rather than a number. The 0 is a present in many birth dates and has an important symbolic significance physiologically. I sure can't say that. I don't know how to say that. But, and no, psychologically and mathematically, it represents nothing as the numerator, and even thing as a denominator. The infinite ends of the finite, neither which are physical, attainable, mystical symbol, told the indicative of the degree of spiritual mysticism inherent but rarely developed in the individual. One or more zeros in their birth chart has an inherent spirit spiritually that they should recognize, for it has the potential to assist them in understanding many of the deeper aspects of life, such as life's purpose, the power of thought process of reincarnation. So that's how deep the number 0 is. That's how deep the number 0 is. And 1 through 9 spiritually has nothing to do with what Mrs. Lucas taught me in 2nd grade. And I think these are the things that should be taught to the youth. And that's where I'm heading. I'm going with this. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Because it's It's a shame that it cannot be expressed the way it's supposed to, and it's a shame that it's been held by higher ups that will not even allow it to happen with the educators that have the sufficiency of the master degrees and the bachelor degrees and the doctrines when it comes to knowing our people, because they are our people. They're not even giving them a chance, but they'll get someone that don't look like you, don't like you, don't care for you, don't live around you, all the power in the world to control every attribute of you. But they won't give your own people a chance that have the means and the desire to build us to be a better people. Fuck that. Fuck them. So, we got three aspects of self. We have two levels of self, which is the higher self, the lower self, and the higher self. You know what I'm saying? And so we have three aspects of self. We got the basic self, which is nothing but truly the five senses that we have. You know what I'm saying? Touch, taste, smell, hear. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Taste, all that. And we got the conscious self, which is more so numerology is the home of our thoughts and our attitudes. And then we have the connection between the left and the right lobes of our brain that connects us to the totality of the omnipresence of who we truly are and who we are truly blessed with the DNA structure from. So we have to, like I said, get another understanding, a proper understanding of the body itself, the books we read that tell us these things about the body, and mainly the religious books that we as a people are actually caught up in. Re-examine the Bible, re-examine the Quran, the Holy Quran, re-examine, the structure of Buddhism, Hinduism, you know, Judaism, all these different religions that house this information that is from a hierarchy of a galactic being that is the representation of truly you. And they took that shit and don't care about it and been using it for their advantage ever since. So once you get a over understanding of self, you can start using these techniques. Learning your numerology chart. I can do that for you. It's nothing to it. All you have to do is email me at universal soul SOUL thanking THANKING dot at gmail.com. You know what I'm saying? Inbox me on Facebook. Fox with me. I'm on a level of not just understanding, but it's time to level up when it comes to our people. You know what I'm saying? And truly kind of bask in the glow of who we really are. Like for real, for real. So thanks for listening. Happy El Segment at YouTube. Please share. Please understand. This is an awakening for everyone across the world. And all we need to do is be a part of our own creativity and bring all that together as a whole and become the masters of our own destiny like we were supposed to, and actually live in the aspect of knowing that we are, directly descendants of the creator and the triple blackness of space, the universal womb itself. Let's get back to that. Thanks for listening. Like I said, Fox with me. Everybody's sleeping on me. I know what y'all probably think, but I really don't give a fuck. The point of the matter is, information is just what it is. Don't ever take my word for it. Like I always say, do your own research, but just know it's a hit out on your soul. Star Wars, they want your star, your soul, your solar plexus, who you are. They want that. So understand, it's a hit out on you. These portals is open. It's all these lives being taken, these young lives, female and male. And that's another thing. People need to understand female and male, just because they are different in a polarity sense, does not make you different. And for you to connect is how you become one in a higher sense. So, on that level, peace, love, and energy. Two fingers, Fox with me. Share it. Love all my people. Thank y'all for listening. Peace.